So let's talk about feelings. This comes from Chapter 5 of the Experiential Marketing textbook by Bernd Schmidt. I have, of course, Peter Frampton's Do You Feel Like I Do here in the URL down below if you'd like to play a few bars from Frampton Comes Alive. I'm always reminded when I start talking about feelings of that scene in the psychologist's office where the person is sitting on the couch and the psychologist says, "And how did that make you feel?" It's all about those feelings. And that's what experiential marketers need to ask. How will that make our guest feel? I have here some definitions of moods, feelings, and emotions. It turns out that psychologists have been studying feelings, emotions, and moods for a very long time. And as a result, they don't really agree on any of these definitions. So I thought I would give you just a couple of general definitions because feelings, emotions, and moods are all things that experiential marketers want to be concerned about. First, feelings is the perception of the events within the body. That is, it's a basic reaction to a stimuli, in this case, a staged event. Emotions are intense, stimulus-specific affective states. This is one of the most studied yet least understood areas of marketing and, in fact, psychology. Fundamental difference between feelings and emotions is that feelings are experienced consciously while emotions manifest themselves typically subconsciously. And of course, a mood is a person's specific state of mind at any particular time. And so a mood is also referred to as the prevailing emotion in a person. Feelings, of course, are the cornerstones of building strong memories, and it's very tricky to get people to think and feel in a particular way. Some examples of feelings. One of our favorites, of course, is what we call warm fuzzies. That's the warm, pleasant sensations one feels in the stomach and heart area when they're emotionally moved by an act of goodwill or love. Some examples of this are things like St. Jude commercials or watching children open presents on their birthday. Another example, of course, is one of the things we always say in marketing is if you need a warm fuzzy, always put kids and puppies in the commercials. Another example of feelings is fear. Think about scary movies. We're trying to produce a scary movie. How do we make a movie scary? Well, of course, it always has to take place at night. The music helps make it scary. The anticipation helps make it scary. And of course, the characters help make it scary. The 7 basic emotions include joy, acceptance, fear, surprise, sadness, disgust, anger, and anticipation. If you're counting, you'll notice that there are 8 of them here, which is part of the joke of this slide, and that is most psychologists will argue that there are 7 basic emotions. They just can't agree what the 7 are. The question experiential marketers have to ask is, how do I elicit the right emotions at the right time for my experience? An example of this is, should I use nostalgia? Is nostalgia a way to elicit a particular emotion or an emotion by itself? Obviously, when you hear a song that you remember from your past, it tends to bring back that feelings of what it was like back when you heard this song. Maybe it's a song that was popular when you were a freshman in high school, for instance. Of course, when we try to elicit the right feelings, it's done by focusing on a combination of the senses. So how do you make that happen? It's test, test, test.